लाइफ में बहुत सारे आचार्य मिलते हैं और मिलते जाते हैं, आगे भी मिलेंगे, रियल लाइफ में भी मिलते हैं और मिलते रहना चाहिए ताकि लाइफ एंगेज रहती है।
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me. So, how serious men are the three of you?
Well, you heard a story that Nawaz told about trying to be 20 years ago, and his attitude to the way he is. So, I mean, we're serious, but we don't take ourselves that seriously. This is why we survived. This is why we survived. You can't, take yourself seriously.
Actually, none of us were serious. We had a lot of fun, a lot of discussion, a lot of argument. So the film was about the serious man, and I think it reflected that Pepe thing in the film. We all had fun. We were, subconsciously we were serious about the film, but we had this thing.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, sometimes, all in a filmmaker's life, there will be 5 or 6 times, and if he's a genius, which I'm not, then it'll happen 10, 15 times that everything will come together. But this time it all came together. And it comes together because, you found Nawaz, and Nawaz said yes, and Nassar said yes, and he found this lovely young boy, kid, So we have this lovely young... So we had found this brilliant young boy, Akshat, and Indira, and all of them sort of gelled so well together, and we had a great DOP, great sound, great music. So, I mean, everything gelled and fantastic when it happens. And then it becomes a kind of a play. That's why you call it a play. You play with it. And it really worked very well. I had a great time with Nawaz. Such an honor to work with Nassar sir.
And Nawaz ने कहा कि 20 साल तक उनको इंतजार करना पड़ा आपके साथ काम करने में. नवाज, आपने कैलकाटा मेल का पूरा एक एग्जाम्पल बताया था. So tell us a bit about it.
हाँ, वो तो हुआ ही था जब हम लोग कमालिस्तान में कौन से स्टूडियो में शूट कर रहे थे, तब गया था मैं. और सुधीर सर की चूँकि फिल्में देखी और एनएसडी में थे हम लोग, और 2-3 डायरेक्टर थे जिनके बारे में हम लोग अक्सर डिस्कशन करते थे कि इनके साथ तो काम करना ही है. और फॉर्चुनेटली जब मैं आया तो आते ही मुझे मालूम हुआ कि सर की शूटिंग हो रही है, तो मैं पहुंच गया वहाँ पे. तो ये इंसिडेंट तब हुआ, लेकिन पता नहीं, मुझे शुरू से मालूम था कि मैं सुधीर सर के साथ एक दिन ज़रूर काम करूँगा. ये था मेरे दिमाग में एक बार, और वो हुआ. भले 20 साल लग गए हैं, बट हुआ. और फाइनली और काम करते वक्त मैंने जो सोचा था उससे भी ज़्यादा मुझे मज़ा इसलिए आया क्योंकि सर की अंडरस्टैंडिंग जो परफॉर्मेंसेस को लेके है वो बहुत ही अलग है. जो बहुत सारे मतलब हर चीज़ का एक रीज़न, लॉजिक और परफॉर्मेंस आउट ऑफ द टोन ना चली जाए, और वो मेंटेन करते, वो सारी कैरेक्टर की वो हर चीज़ को मेंटेन करते हुए आपको लिबर्टी भी देते हैं. तो एक फ्रीडम भी मिलती है. तो ये एक अलग ही एक्सपीरियंस था मेरे साथ. और नासिर सर के साथ बहुत सारे सीन हैं मेरे, तो डेफिनेटली सीन करते हुए भी मैं हमेशा फ्रेंकली स्पीकिंग ये सोचता था कि जब मैं बहुत एज हो जाएगी मेरी तो मैं नासिर सर की तरह ही एक्ट करूँगा. तो ये होता है कि बहुत ही कमाल की जो एलिगेंसी है उनके अंदर, वो बहुत ही अमेजिंग है एक्चुअली. आई वांट टू डू समथिंग लाइक, मैं कभी मौका मिला तो मैं नासिर सर के जैसा मतलब परफॉर्मेंस करना जरूर चाहूँगा.
And yes, Nassar sir, what do you have to say, because you have a Acharya word, like very, very impressive.
Hello, can you repeat?
I said, what do you have to say about this? Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear. It was wonderful to be with Nawaz, Sudhir, and the film is very tender one about the boy and the son. Yes. It is wonderful working with Sudhir. Any actor who acts, who is handled by him, the way he expressed the scene with that long hand and moving fingers and his big eyes, that solves all our questions. So most of the questions are where you tend to raise when Sudhir explains. He's a wonderful actor too, but he doesn't portray
Yeah.
the character what we wanted to do. But the way he explains, it is like a performance. It eases out,
True.
and that's how it took off for me, at least. Of course, Nawaz, I'm very happy that he commented about me. Actually, I am a very big follower of Nawaz. I have been watching all his film. There is a very big following him in South. So it was all wonderful. We loved each other. We respected each other. So I think it can be seen on the film. It is not just professionally. It's not professionally we made a film like that. We were adoring each other. We had respect about each other. We loved each other. So that's how we had a wonderful mood when we made. And I think that will reflect on the film.
It does definitely.
Yeah,
And before
friends, I didn't know Nassar Saab very well. I didn't know Nawaz very well either. We worked together, and we became during the course of the film. It's like you were forming a group, and we become, I think, friends for life. But during the course of the film, this was an accident. We were meant to meet earlier. We didn't like this. Like Nawaz said.
20 years long. ट्रू नवाज सर, एक बात बताइए, आपका जो कैरेक्टर है मनी का, बोलते हैं एक्टर कभी कभी अपनी जिंदगी से कुछ ना कुछ ड्रॉ करता है. वो 2G से 4G बनना चाहता है, उसके एस्पिरेशंस भी हैं. कहीं आपको रेजोनेट किया कुछ ऐसी बात मनी की अपने साथ कुछ हुई?
ऑफ कोर्स मेरे ख्याल से हर पेरेंट से हर इंसान ये चाहता है कि जो उसकी लाइफ इस वक्त पे है एक लीप मिले उसको, जो एक जनरेशन के आगे पहुंच जाए. वो हर आदमी चाहता है, क्योंकि हम जिस तरह के लोग हैं या जिस जगह से आए हैं, हम चाहते हैं कि एक कंफर्टेबल लाइफ भी हो, थोड़ी इज्जत भी हो, थोड़ा सम्मान भी हो, लोग दें, और उन लोगों के बीच में शामिल होना चाहते हैं जहाँ पे लोगों को सम्मान मिलता है, इज्जत मिलती है, पैसा भी होता है जिनके पास. हर आदमी चाहता है कहीं कोई भी अपनी जो पोजीशन होती है उससे कोई भी सेटिस्फेक्शन नहीं होता. और वो अच्छी बात भी है कि अगर सही तरीके से आप जाएं तो वो एक टारगेट होता है लाइफ में, क्योंकि लाइफ में कोई मीनिंग तो चाहिए ही ना, कोई मतलब तो चाहिए होता है लाइफ में. तो इसीलिए हर आदमी अपनी उस पोजीशन से थोड़ा आगे जाना चाहता है, एक पायदान ऊपर जाना चाहता है, और क्योंकि उसको लगता है कि शायद लाइफ वहाँ जाके बहुत सही हो जाएगी और खुशी मिलेगी. बट अल्टीमेटली कहीं ना कहीं ये डिसअपॉइंटमेंट भी होते हैं और हर तरह के वो होते हैं. मतलब खुशी भी होती है, दुख भी होता है. ये हर चीज़ का अपना वो एक वो है, नज़रिया है.
And to the three of you, Sudhir sir, coming to you, it's by a book. It's on a book. What drew you to the book? Because it is a satire. You look at the absurdity of the situation, you laugh, but you also feel bad because, as the dialogue, Nassar sir's dialogue says, your angst is right, but your actions are not. That's exactly what we are living through. There's a lot of angst. Log action ठीक नहीं ले रहे हैं.
It's about Manu Joseph's wild kind of mind. It's very interesting, a tangential view on everything, right? I love the character. I love his take on life. I love the fact that he doesn't play a victim. He's doing his best in the circumstances given to him, and and has the grace to admit it. I think it's the coming together. In one sense, it's a father-son story. In one sense, it's the story of Acharya and Ian Mani also coming together, of holding hands and understanding the privilege. The guy who has his, knee on the neck, and the guy who's lying there, whose neck it is. They're coming together in a sense. So it's a story of reconciliation also. It's a very moving, I think, tale in many ways. Plus, it has a wild kind of irreverent take. I tried my best when we went from the book to the script. We had to move away a lot, select, choose the idea, concoct new situations. But when I was making the film, I tried to go back to the book in the spirit. So I kept reading the book all the time. And we got along really well, Manu and I and all of us. So he was hanging around me, he was there during the shoot. And they never intruded, never said, oh, my book was like that, do this or whatever. We had a really great time. And we got together. So, I mean, I think he's very confident because the book exists and the book is great and the film is separate. Of course, the film could not have existed because of the book, but for the book. So it's fascinating. I think I've become a better filmmaker after interacting with Manu Joseph's mind. I think I'll make a much better film.
No, it's very intriguing. I watched the movie, and both of you, sir, Acharya and Mani, what was one thing that you found about your character that intrigued you, and one you thought was a little, which you didn't agree with?
No, I think each and every character was aged perfectly because already Manu had defined all the characters in the book, and from that they have evolved the script. So they had 2 levels of defining the characters. It was all well defined. That only thing we had to perform it. When I absorbed my character, I suddenly few of my own colleagues came into my mind. I know one actor, I know one director. I know they are wrong always, but they will say they are the messiah of film. They want to change the film. They have, sorry, I cannot name them. But as I was just, I know this. I know Acharya. I have seen Acharya where suddenly in the middle of the night. So not only 2, I think most of us are like that. But so that's how because as an actor, I and Mani, it had one straight line of his character, but Acharya had to play a role of Acharya himself to his colleagues. Ian Mani is not like that, but Acharya had to play a role that he's the king of that space. So it was very interesting. It was very interesting. Now Nawaz.
नवाज आप बताइए, आप कितने आचार्यों से मिले हो वैसे रियल लाइफ में, और इस फिल्म में बहुत प्रिविलेज पर भी सटायर है, नेपोटिज्म पे भी है, 2G से 4G। नेपोटिज्म सिर्फ फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में नहीं है, झुग्गी से लेकर एक महल में हर जगह एग्जिस्ट करता है। सो आई फाउंड दैट वेरी इंट्रीगिंग। हर चीज पे एक स्टेटमेंट इस फिल्म के माध्यम के थ्रू हमें मिला है। आप कितने आचार्यों से मिले हो और मनी के साथ कैसे रेजोनेट किया?
आई थिंक बहुत आचार्य मिलते हैं, जैसे हमारे कॉलेज से ही शुरू हो जाता है, स्कूल कॉलेज से ही शुरू हो जाता है। और आई थिंक जैसे आचार्य के साथ एक अजीब सी इक्वेशन है कि उनको चाहता भी है, वो उनके जैसा बनना भी चाहता है, बट एट द सेम टाइम अपना भी कुछ कहते हैं ना कि यार ठीक है, आप इतने रख लो, मैं इतने रखूंगा, कुछ भी हो वो, है ना। तो इस तरह का है इक्वेशन वो। तो लाइफ में बहुत सारे आचार्य मिलते हैं और मिलते जाते हैं, आगे भी मिलेंगे, रियल लाइफ में भी मिलते हैं, और मिलते रहना चाहिए ताकि लाइफ इंगेज रहती है।
Which is so true. And also asking all three of you, since it's on this OTT space, do you feel, this is just the perfect film for this platform? And also, we don't know anything about theatrical releases now. So as people from the fraternity, what's your take on the OTT now being the go-to platform for all releases now? And it's also kind of balanced around. It's far more democratic. You don't have box office. There is no A-list, B-list, C-list, any of that. It's democratic for everybody.
I think it's fascinating, personally, my career is revived, right? Personally, after the OTT space has come in, suddenly I was given this opportunity to make this film. I had the grace and everything of Netflix. I was left to my own devices. I was left to evolve. And I worked best. Last time it happened was in Hazaro. When Pritish Nandi gave me this opportunity, he said, make a film, right? Now they said, make a film, right? So I had this wonderful privilege. I think, it's fascinating. For example, Martin Scorsese makes Irishman, he makes it like a film, right? So tomorrow if you see it in the theatrical space, you'll enjoy each and every sound, each and every visual, the depth of the visual. I mean, So, I mean, I think that's how you should make the film. We have made the film. If you see it on a big screen, you'll love it. If you see it on a small screen, you'll enjoy it at another level. And I think it's wonderful that the Netflix sort of allows that, right?
True.
Because now the film exists, and it exists for anyone who can see it at any point, in any way. So I think the OTT space is a fascinating space. And another thing, you can see the film can be discovered at any point.
True.
I discovered Breaking Bad 3 seasons later, right?
True.
So 20 years later, this film is somewhere up in the air, right? Somebody can discover the film, press a button. So now we are all, buttons.
I know.
Who will
Literally.
choose? Serious man, Saab Bibi Ogulam. Or 100 years later, a guy can, find a film. It's fascinating. It's there always for you to. So I think it's wonderful. I really adore it, and I think this theatrical space will also remain.
True, absolutely. As I wrap up, I want to ask नवाज और नासिर सर. नवाज, आपसे जब लास्ट मैंने बात की थी, आपने कहा था मैं बहुत खुश हूँ OTT स्पेस पे फिल्में रिलीज हो रही हैं, वन हम लोगों को वो जो बुलीज के अंडर नहीं अभी. आर यू स्टिल सहमत विद दैट स्टेटमेंट यू मेड अ फ्यू मंथ्स अगो?
नहीं, थिएटर का देखो अपना एक अलग, क्योंकि उसमें माहौल बनता है, लोग आके बैठते हैं, है ना, कि एक जो रिस्पॉन्स आता है वो कलेक्टिव रिस्पॉन्स होता है. किसी भी परफॉर्मेंस को देखते हैं या फिल्म को देखते हैं, कई बार आपको वो मोमेंट समझ में नहीं आ रही, लेकिन दूसरे लोग वो उसको रिस्पॉन्ड कर रहे हैं, तो आप समझने की कोशिश करते हैं कि क्या मिस कर गया है, क्या कुछ इस इंटरेस्टिंग था. बट इसका अपना अलग मज़ा है कि आप बहुत ही इंडिविजुअल एक्सपीरियंस से बैठ के देख सकते हैं. दोनों की अपनी अपनी एक अलग वो है. बट सबसे बड़ी बात जो मुझे लगती है कि चाहे किसी सुपरस्टार की फिल्म हो और चाहे किसी एक्टर की, छोटे एक्टर की फिल्म हो, है ना, चाहे 100 करोड़ की हो, चाहे 5 करोड़ की हो, एक डेमोक्रेटिक वह है कि आप व्यूवरशिप उतनी ही है. तो यहाँ थिएटर की मारामारी नहीं है. ये एक बहुत अच्छा लगता है मुझे.
Nassir sir, before we wrap up.
Okay. I don't know how they are discussing this matter in Bombay, but in South, particularly in Tamil, there are very hot debates going on. OTT will eat up cinema, but I think OTT is entirely like we differentiated. Television is entirely different from cinema. I think the same should be applied to OTT also. I think OTT gives for the creator like Mishra, Sudhir, it gives more freedom. First, you don't have censor, and you become more. Censor doesn't mean you can tell anything. You become very responsible because you don't have a censor, and you can touch any. Whatever we try to discuss in film, we cannot discuss in film. We can discuss that in OTT. I think trade-wise, it is entirely different. But the creative-wise, I think it is the same and maybe more complicated. That's what I think. OTT has to be welcomed. It doesn't. We have to the film. If we want to safeguard film, we have to find a solution how to safeguard from OTT. But we have to understand both are different platforms.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Serious men. Enjoyed the movie, and thank you so much for talking to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.